Three, two.
One.
That was awesome.
Nice.
Mekhi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad to have you here. You're the first of, I mean, I've had other family members here do the podcast with
Yeah.
me, but you're actually the official one of my nieces and nephews to do it.
Yeah, we gotta represent.
Yeah, and you represent you will, and I was excited about this because I didn't know if either of any of you would actually be wanting to do an experience like this or to
Yeah.
sit and do the podcast. So I was excited when I found out that you wanted to do it, and I was excited when I got your answers for your favorite
They're
parts.
good, right?
Yeah, so they're going to be good, and we'll go into those a little bit later. But no, I wanted to just take some time before we got into the nitty gritty of things, just
Mm.
to you're my sister's child. Um, you're the oldest out of the three.
And the best.
Yeah, and the best.
Low key.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that. I didn't want it to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, my fault.
But she was the first guest on the podcast. You're the first one out of the three of you to do the podcast.
Yeah.
I did want to just say I appreciate you being here. And if I could ask for a better nephew, it would be you.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm really thankful that you would like let me come on here, talk all that stuff, because you really could have just been like, man, what do you gotta talk about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're open, and then you're doing your big one now with this thing too. Like you're going up, so I'm just happy I'll be here every step of the way. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here.
Cool. That's good. And the reason why I'm really, really into this right now is because, I mean, granted, we talk and everything and we're cool and everything, but we've never actually sat down and like had conversations about stuff. So I think it's good to bring back like the old school, new school.
Word.
And
We gotta do that more though.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We do. And we don't need to wait for a podcast to do it.
Mm.
But we're going to make sure that this one counts though.
Word.
And
For the books.
Yeah. And just to highlight some stuff about you, I do know that you're still in school currently as far as like college and everything.
Yeah.
Is there something that you have like expectations for?
As far as like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Hey, if not, it's fine because there's tons of people that go to school and don't figure that out for a couple years. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like I got kind of lucky. I started like bouncing around as far as like what I wanted to do in high school because I was taking AVID. That's like college prep and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to be a dentist, and then I changed to what's it called? I think it's radiologist, something like that, or like a technician, something like that. That doesn't require the 8 years.
Yeah.
But then I was like gathering all that, and I was thinking like, dang, like I really don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
And then like the field as far as like nursing goes, respect to all the nurses.
Yeah,
but,
you guys are killing it.
Seriously, but I just couldn't do it myself. Like I don't have the patience, and I just feel like I could be great as far as helping people, but then it just takes that mental toll, and there's drawbacks with it. So it's just not for me. But after this job I have now, like working retail, and then just talking to more people, and then coming more out of my shell, because before I wouldn't really talk to nobody. Like I was mentioning earlier, like I'd sit in a class and just not really like talk at all, because I would just be like nervous, anxious, and just overthinking and stuff. But then I felt like I had a more like a business oriented mind. Like I'm good at being a taskmaster, and then just like completing stuff. So I was like, okay, business can work for me. And like I know in high school, like during Avid and stuff, like, oh, business is so easy, and then it's easy to just fall out of it. But I feel like I don't know, something within like the last few years told me that like I'm meant for something bigger.
Yeah.
Not in like a cocky way, but it's just like I don't want to like settle for less.
Yeah.
I feel like if I pursue business, can push myself, kind of like how you're doing right now. I could do something and make something of myself, real big.
I 100% agree with that, and I do feel the same thing about you. Just to piggyback off what you're saying, like every once in a while you get those moments where you're like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this you get and most people never chase those feelings and stuff. I mean, I've had feelings of wanting to do this for a while, and just kept procrastinating and not doing it instead of pursuing something that like I like doing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're already realizing that at your age versus realizing it later on in life, and that way you can start to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And I do know that you're doing the business thing. I don't know if my sister ever told you, but I actually asked her. I was like, man, I'm not good at stuff like that. So if this happens to go anywhere, you're welcome to be my business manager.
I got you, because I've been thinking about it. It's like be like a social media manager or something. Like I don't know. Like I got you.
Something. Hey. with that, I'm down.
I got you.
We'll
Let me
figure
know.
that out.
I'll drop a resume.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
but I think you were a great help too. Like
Mm-hmm.
after seeing you like bring this up and then doing your thing with this, I was like, dang, like he was doing stuff for a long time that maybe he wasn't the happiest with, or he just wanted something different.
Mm-hmm.
Got like a new, what's it called, like a new leaf or something like that.
Yeah,
And
lease
I was
on
just
life,
feeling,
I guess you could say.
yeah,
I don't, I'm trying to find the right like cliche they say for it, but
word. I
yeah,
couldn't find it either.
yeah.
I'm not cliche enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just thinking like, dang, like if he could do it,
Mm-hmm.
just start his own thing from the ground
Mm-hmm.
up, I could do that. And then business, that's for the most part, that's what you're really gonna have
Yeah.
to do, unless you do some like finance or you go to like a job and then you're just working. I don't know much about business. Granted,
Mm-hmm.
like I know that if you want to start your own,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be ground up investments, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely inspire me as far as like pushing, getting out there,
Mm-hmm.
getting like just not being scared to do things,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a big problem with me. Like I'll be scared and like I'll hesitate. Like
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of things I was interested in school, I would just like fall back. Like
Mm-hmm.
sports, I'd fall back because I didn't know what to do in some
Mm-hmm.
things. So I was like, it just makes me feel more confident knowing that like other people
Mm-hmm.
are just doing their own thing, not worrying,
Mm-hmm.
not caring as
Yeah.
much, because I just overthink.
Mm-hmm. I'm an overthinker too, so
Yeah.
usually I always tell people once you take that first step, it gets easier after that.
Mm.
Usually that's the hardest part. So you can't overthink and still try. So
Yeah, you just gotta take that leap.
yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, let's bring up what you're here for,
Word.
and that's to go over your favorite parts.
Yeah.
And you brought up some items that I got excited for once reading them. One, because some of the actual things excite me,
Mm.
and two, just to see what your perspective is on it. Being you.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to talk about is bonds, and I'm assuming you mean like the bonds between people
Mm-hmm.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So go into a little bit about why that's one of your favorite parts.
So as far as bonds, I was talking about it earlier with my mom, because I was like, dang, like I submit like well, I was interested in like bonds, but it's kind of like vague.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "What do you mean by that?" I was like, "Oh, let me think about that a little bit more." But
Mm-hmm.
I think as far as that, I think like just making those strong connections, memories. Like I grew up, like I said earlier, like I grew up not really talking to people like that. I was very like timid, scared. I would just stick to myself because that's what felt more comfortable
Yeah.
to me. Like in neighborhoods, I didn't always have like neighbor friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't out. Like y'all generation had it the best. Like
Mm-hmm.
she'll even tell me too. Like, dang, y'all suck. Like
Mm-hmm.
y'all don't hang out with nobody no more. Y'all don't go out no more. Y'all don't just hang out and play on the street. And I was like, no, we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I just never had those experiences. So when I started building more confidence in school, slowly but surely,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, this is nice. Like I'm making friends. I'm talking to people. We have like similar interests and stuff like that. So it just felt great to have like those connections. And then like I appreciated bonds so much. It got to a point like in middle school where I was like valuing that over family,
Mm-hmm.
which is not good. Like like outside friends and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But then I brought it to like an even balance, like high
Mm-hmm.
school time. I have like great friends now. And then I even had like a friend group for about like 7 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
We're all doing our own thing now, which is fine. Still love them. Shout out to you guys. But but it was just nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many memories associated. It was like
Mm-hmm.
you meet different personalities, different people.
Yeah.
And then not that you like assimilate or like steal from people, but you take things from them. You
Mhm.
learn things from them. Like what's it called? Like one of my friends, Brandon, like uh he put me onto Mexican candy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not for everybody, because
Mhm.
I used to buy it on my own and like share with
Mhm.
people, and they'd be like,
Mhm.
ew, ew, ew. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like it's not that bad. It's bussin'. But I love that stuff. And then even some Japanese candies I've had, like Japanese candy snacks. Like
Mhm.
I'm one of those people, like I can try anything. I'm not like
Mhm.
picky. I
Yeah.
can't stand picky people, but I
Mhm.
respect you. I mean, like
Mhm.
you'd be boring. You know what I'm saying? But
It's true. I have had some encounters with some picky people.
you're not picky yourself.
Yeah. No. No. No.
Respect.
I'll try anything at least once.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Mhm.
The only thing I'm never like liver. I'm not trying liver.
That's the second one in a row.
Sorry, that one's just
Yeah.
bad. But
Mhm.
but like bonds, like I just appreciate it because some like there's, I'm sure you've had those experiences
Mhm.
where like if you feel like you can't talk about something with your family,
Mhm.
despite loving your family, or if they're like very nurturing, caring.
Mhm.
My parents have always been like great and stuff like that, but there's just some things I know I can't talk to them about
Mhm.
because they have different perspective.
Mhm.
One, and then they just, it's just not always as comfortable, a comfortable conversation. You can just talk to your friends about it,
Mhm.
and then they're the best ones to affirm you sometimes. it might not always be the best affirmation because sometimes they be lying. Like
Yeah.
you could
Sometimes they gas you up and when it's not.
be you could be
Which.
dead wrong.
Yeah.
You could be dead wrong, and they'll be like, "Oh, you so right, you so right for this," but no, you're
Hmm.
wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I just really appreciate bonds and the memories associated with that. Going out, like I would never go out nowhere. Sometimes, like I always
Hmm.
make this joke when I talk to people around my age, like
Hmm.
going to the loop with like $20.
Hmm.
You ain't doing nothing at the loop with $20 besides eating.
Hmm.
Like if we're just being real,
If you're lucky.
yeah, for real.
Hmm.
But we would just walk around and walk around like laps, like
Hmm.
we were running the mile,
Hmm.
and then like it was just crazy. Like it was just a nice good time. Sometimes we go to movies. I remember we went. Me and my friends went to like the
Hmm.
Secret Life of Pets,
Yeah.
and that movie was whack.
Hmm.
Like we sat there for like 5 minutes because we saw nothing we liked, but we
Hmm.
already paid the ticket, so we're like,
Hmm.
why not just go? It's one of those. It's back when we didn't have a car.
Hmm.
None of us had a car, so
Yeah.
it was like, where do we go?
Hmm.
But we were just thinking like, dang, we're not feeling this movie. So despite us paying,
Hmm.
we just left and then sat at Wendy's and ate
Yeah.
with that $20,
Hmm.
and it was good. So yeah, that's what like bonds like. It just means a lot to me because
Hmm.
then I bring it close to my heart. I even have this. I have a wall in my room. It's like, how do I explain it? It's like little clips, like how people
Hmm.
hold like Polaroids and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I have Polaroids just like hung up like of a bunch of different memories, like with my friends at the beach,
Yeah.
like at nighttime,
Hmm.
or just hanging out with my friend at their
Yeah.
crib and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
I appreciate something like that because I wrote something a couple weeks ago about like photographs and stuff, and I feel like how do those photographs like how do you feel about them?
I'd be jumping in, like I'd be jumping into the memories. Like
Hmm.
I look at this one, I'm like, dang, like
Hmm.
the beach at nighttime is crazy,
Yeah.
but it was fun. It was lit. It was a nice
Hmm.
time. Or like my cousins from Canada, like
Hmm.
I heard about them my entire life,
Hmm.
but we just never linked or saw anything like that.
Hmm.
And I hung out with them like this December,
Hmm.
and then as we started talking, it was like nothing. There was no nerves. There was
Yeah.
nothing. It was just natural, and that part of me felt like maybe I was like extroverting, a
Hmm.
little forcing myself a little bit to just be
Hmm.
like all right, everybody come, let's scab around, because I wanted everyone to feel comfortable,
Hmm.
and I wanted them to feel like I'm trying to meet y'all. I want to talk
Yeah.
to y'all, and they were welcoming too. They were awesome,
Hmm.
but like things like that. Like I have a picture of me and them up there too. Like we're all
Hmm.
just like together, and it's just nice. Like
Hmm.
I grew up not valuing family as much as I should have.
Hmm.
So I think like one of the biggest regrets I have, and despite the fact that I'm young,
Hmm.
is that like I didn't appreciate it that much,
Hmm.
because a lot of the times like I would just sit out or just
Hmm.
like stay home and do my own thing, because I was like, oh, why would I do this? Nah, nah, nah. But you could talk to people, and
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
much better that way
Hmm.
and stuff. And then you learn, and then like you create memories.
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing to me, honestly.
Yeah. And I think if I'm gathering correctly, like your favorite part about like the bonds is one, like sometimes the memories that you're making,
Yeah.
and I like the fact that you mentioned that you get a little bit of something from everybody you make those bonds with. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, so maybe it's a habit, maybe it's the way to do something, maybe it's something like that. I haven't thought about that as far as like knowing people. Like you think about like the experiences you have with them, but I haven't thought about the actual things we carry on from them ourselves. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. I'm a picture taker. Like I'll take a picture of anything. Like I like once my mom started doing it, I used to question it, but then I started taking a picture of food,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes I'll just be like scrolling through my camera. I'm like, damn,
That was bomb.
that was a nice plate. like like I could eat that plate.
Yeah, I do. I start to do it now too. I used to think it was weird before, but now I'm like,
Like some
I kind of want to
Kardashian
remember this
stuff.
looks banging.
Like the things Kardashians do,
Mm-hmm.
like just take pictures of their
Yeah.
food. Yeah. But it's nice.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, the next thing that you brought up, and I'm assuming it's something that you brought that you've gained bonds from too,
Mm.
and that's going to be RPG games. I don't
Mm.
know if it's if it's maybe the ones that you play with other people, or if it's maybe ones that you play solo. But
Mm.
tell me a little bit about why RPG games are your favorite part, also.
You know what? To bounce back off of what you said, like building bonds from RPG games.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't build that much, to be honest with you. Like I'll say like RPG slash MMO,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll play some of those sometimes. But like I would definitely meet people online, and
Mhm.
like we would create bonds and stuff like that. But then that's just like you have your online friends,
Yeah.
and then like for example, like I was hooked on Wizard 101 for a long time. I know you remember. I used to
Oh,
download
yeah.
that on your computer, take
All
up
the
all,
time.
all your space, everything. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I would meet people on there and just talk to them. They were
Yeah.
different, and then they just tell you different things. You learn from them. You don't know how old these people are, but you're just talking to them and it's casual. Like, I don't know. I was probably like 7 talking to someone like 15. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they were cool, and I like those people. It felt nice. Like, even if I didn't have friends in my outside reality neighborhood, anything like that, I would hop on and I'd be like, oh crap, this person's online. This person's online. Like, let's play right now. Oh, you want to do this dungeon? Let's do this dungeon. Just like nerd stuff together. The game is endearing in itself too. I appreciate it. Like things like that. Like one thing I really like about RPGs and then just like video games in general is just the music. I really appreciate the music. Like the Persona series is like a big thing of mine.
I'm a big fan of Persona.
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who would like make fun of me, call me a weeb and this and that. But I feel like I never really had nobody to like talk about like my RPG games with, or just like make bonds or experiences like with that. And it was nice to, like, you find communities where people are like interested in this stuff. They talk about it. They're comfortable talking about it. Like I have a whole playlist on my phone on Spotify called the Weeb List.
Really?
Yeah, I have one like Weeb List parentheses active, like where it's like I'll play like where I'm working out, and then I have Weeb List vibes where that one is just like if I'm studying or something like that, I'll just play that like 9 hours, like.
And what is it like? All music from RPGs?
Mostly RPGs, mostly Persona, because they have a
Oh,
lot.
yeah,
They have
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
And then just like different games I've seen and explored. I need to do better though. Like, you know how you got me Baldur's Gate?
Yeah.
There's this one song in there that's like, ooh,
No, you can give it a shot.
it's like down, down, down by the river. Like, it's the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the? I can't remember if that's the one they play at the end of the game or if it's the one they play in the House of Hope.
You hear it if you're on like the PS screen. You know how they be having the little
Yeah.
theme sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did that and it was nice. And I was like, sometimes I just hum
Yeah.
it to myself. I need you to help me like get back into it though.
Yeah.
I'm like stuck at this one point, so I'm gonna need your help.
That's fine. You can just send me an invite and we'll kill the campaign with you.
Word, I'm gonna hit you after that.
Then I'm trying to figure out now where you hear that part. I know exactly what the song you're talking about. It's like the main song for the game, but there's a point where it actually has words in it.
You hear it in like
Yeah.
the character creation.
Yeah.
Because I was there for a minute. I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure my guy was sharp.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like about RPG games too. Like you can have your own diversity, and then you can make your own characters, your own story.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just like, dang, I want this character to look like this guy from an anime that I like. No one's gonna do that. I like to be different so bad. But that's what I be doing sometimes. That's what I like about it. And then with RPG games too, like I just like the whole aesthetic about it too.
Yeah.
Like I have posters in my room about some. Like I have a Persona poster in my room. Like I love Persona so much. And then when this new one, the remake of the third game came out, I was on that like nothing. And then it came out on my birthday, like like they
That's a sign.
That's a sign they love me. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I still have to get that one. I've been trying to finish Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yes, I've been seeing you playing that one.
Yeah, I have to finish that one, and then after that, it's gonna be Persona 3 because I was a
Word.
big fan of 5. I didn't get a chance to play Royal,
Yeah,
but because I didn't want to do the whole thing again because it literally took me 120 hours.
yeah. And
And
you're a
then-
completionist, right?
Huh?
You're a completionist.
Yes and no.
Mm.
I like to if there's side quests, I'm a side quest whore. I'll go and I'll do the side quests before I finish everything,
Yeah.
and that's what takes me the longest to do.
Oh God.
Sometimes that's why I haven't finished Rebirth because I'm trying to complete like every map, and it's definitely a task. But I definitely understand what you get about like sometimes it's an escape and stuff like being able to
Yeah, it is.
to play some of those games and live in those worlds and create a character just the way you like it. But with Baldur's Gate 2, like one of the things I like about it the most is that you can play with other people, and I've
2 or
had
3. I'm sorry.
up to 4 people.
No, Baldur's Gate 2 or 3.
3.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
you.
So that's what I like about it too. So that's why I asked about the bonds too, because in that case you can build bonds. Like now, me and the people that I played that campaign with, we're like every time there's a multiplayer game, that's what we play and stuff. But even doing something solo,
Yeah,
it's so gratifying, like being able to like complete something.
it is.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I even make it like a hobby. Sometimes like, so if I don't know how to do something, I'll be like, type. How do you do this in this game or gameplay of this game? I just watch it. Like it's good. It passes time. And people like to make fun of people like iPad kids or people who need to like watch something while they're eating or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an iPad kid. I don't care. I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
I will eat a whole damn KFC and just watch some freaking RPG stuff or
Yeah.
a movie or anything like that. I need something to watch.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I can't just like eat in silence and stuff. I have to have
Yeah.
something like on in the background or just watching something.
Mm-hmm.
And who cares about you like YouTube? Like YouTube's great. YouTube's the reason I learned how to do any of this stuff. So
Word.
I can't fault it for that. But I do appreciate you bringing that part up. And it's good to know that even like us being like, I guess far apart in age,
Mm-hmm.
that some of the same things that I get from RPGs, you still carry on.
Yeah, I've noticed like even
Mhm.
when I was like growing up really young and just like running around in here and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like when I used to chill in your room, you always had like cool decor. I think like I don't know if it was figures or just like different things like that. Like
Yeah.
you had cool stuff around. Like
Mhm.
you had merch or this and that. Cool
Mhm.
shirts. I was like, dang, like you got that on. Like
Mhm.
you got that stuff.
Yeah.
But that kind of like inspires the design for my room a little bit.
Mhm.
I wanted it to be like kind of a dorm room since I'm not attending college in person right now.
Mhm.
But I wanted it to have that vibe of like youth and then like okay
Mhm.
this is what I like so it's right here,
Mhm.
this is what I like so it's right there,
Mhm.
this is the whole ambience I want to
Mhm.
have for my room. My sister went in my room the other day and she was like wow, this really does look like a stoner's room. I'm like, I am not a stoner.
Mhm.
Like you're tripping, but
Mhm.
it just looks nice. It's like fun, and then I go in there, it's like an escape.
And it's good to do that because something I regret growing up is not decorating my own room and my own
Mm-hmm.
space as much. So now that I'm like I want to express myself more, it's sometimes harder to get into it with like when you're older and stuff and want to
Yeah.
so and to get in the habit of doing so. But with that being said, this now brings us to our last favorite part for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm correct, you brought up it's going to be pop culture, and you said it was like specifically social media.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to go in a little bit deep dive into that and tell us why it's one of your favorite parts.
So I probably wasn't gonna pick this one at 1st,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been into Twitter a lot lately. Like, and
Your
I'm
sister got me in a rabbit hole. I haven't yet started. I haven't used Twitter until I started doing this thing,
yeah.
and she's the one who first put me on, and she's got me down a rabbit hole. But keep going.
So I think um I don't know what type of Twitter I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm on a whole different type of Twitter. It's like, but it's all like your interests and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about social media now. Like now they see like what you like, what you pay attention to,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, oh, you mess with this, you mess with that. Okay, well, here you go. It's all there for you. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to look it up or nothing
Yeah.
like that, like I used to with YouTube. But like I even saw this post one day that was like Twitter experience semicolon. You tried Twitter, you didn't understand it.
Mhm.
Left for a couple months, came back, and now you're hooked. And I'm hooked. I'm on that every single day. Like that's where I get my news. That's where I get like what's going on.
Mhm.
Like it like I wouldn't even know what's going on with Diddy. I wouldn't know what's going on with like oh the City Girls aren't together no more. I wouldn't know what's going on with like these like streamers these days like Kais and all this and stuff like that. But without Twitter,
Mhm.
they tell me everything I need to know. And then it even gives you like endearing stuff. Like you see how crazy the world is around you, and they're just like, dang, like this is not my life. Like this is literally other people's everyday life, and
Yeah.
I'm just watching it.
Mhm.
Like everything now is on video and just broadcasted. It's crazy to me. And then as far as like the Drake and Kendrick thing,
Yeah.
I would not.
That was
have-
intense.
I would not have known.
I think that was my
nothing.
favorite part about Twitter for the past like couple weeks.
Who do you think won?
Oh, Kendrick.
Okay,
Yeah.
we agree there.
Yeah.
I like Drake and everything, but I low key feel like dang, this guy sound really hater of me. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I kind of wanted to see him like get knocked a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe he was a little trying it at first, you know? Because what are you bothering Kendrick for? What does he do? You know? But
Well, it looks like you got your wish.
yeah, I sure did. But I'm still bop to his albums though. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like it's good to like hear these things and then just listen to them. My mom was hooked on it. Like she would be downstairs like
She was my channel. She was my CNN. Like when I tell you the only reason why I knew everything was going on is because she was sending them straight to my phone every time she got a hold of something.
I would be at work folding like a whole pile of shirts. Then I'd get a message and he'd be like, Kendrick said this about Drake, or Drake dropped this back to back about with Kendrick after he dropped this. I'm just like, oh wow, like
Yeah.
you are on top of it, like
Yeah,
you're on fire.
it was. Somebody needs to hire my sister because she's killing it with the news.
I tell her like there's so
Yeah.
many things she can do.
Yeah.
Like she could party plan.
Mhm.
She can be like a social
Mhm.
media something because
Mhm.
she be on there.
Yeah, but I think what I'm grasping from what you're saying, and or at least what I'm finding so interesting about it, is the fact that it shows like how the times change. Like people back in the day, people used to get all their news and stuff from like newspapers. You used to get
Mm.
them from like watching like CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or something,
Yeah.
and they would get it through there. And now we're at a point where you can literally get all your news just on your feed on whatever like app you're using or something. In this
Mm.
case, X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it
I'm
nowadays.
calling it Twitter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same.
X is
Yeah.
like what is that? You know,
Yeah.
my mom.
That was the only. That was the best out of a room full of people, executives, and that was the best thing they could have came up with.
I'm serious.
But I digress. But I just think that's the cool thing that you guys can get some of your news and stuff immediately in that fashion instead of having to go chase it like we used to before.
Yeah, and I feel like going back to bonds, like that's stuff you can talk about with people,
Yeah.
and then you could be like, I don't know. Surprisingly, nobody at work really is following the Drake Kendrick thing.
Oh,
I'm not.
that's such a shame.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, bro, who
Who
do
do
I
you talk to about
Yeah,
this?
my mom, my
Yeah.
mom. But like, there's different things you could talk about. I'd be
Yeah.
sharing things with people. They share with me. It's
Mhm.
cool. But I feel like it almost kills that element of surprise as far as like, let's say you go to school one day, you don't know what's going on, and you just hear people talking about a bunch of things. Kind of like how you see in like high school movies where it's like, oh, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? No, 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 no. But maybe it is like a little similar to now since we got it on our phones. But I don't know how similar though, because it feels less intimate. I
Yeah.
think I don't know, because you're just getting it from the internet and then you're just sharing that rather than like.
And then you gotta sometimes you gotta remember like if it's even like real and stuff. Sometimes
Oh
you
my
gotta
God,
decipher
bro,
through
'cause
those. But
now with AI, like I don't even know sometimes.
yeah,
You remember? I don't know if you saw it, but there was like this whole period on Twitter where they would post like a bunch of fake news. Like they'd be like, this and this person passed away and they're still living.
Yeah.
Like that one, that's sick. That's like crazy. Like you're tripping.
Yeah.
You're bugging. Whoever you were.
Yeah, whoever
all of you
are.
people
Yeah.
tripping. But I feel like that's just as just a crazy thing to
Yeah.
do, and then just lies. And now it's like it gets harder to discern like whether it's real, whether it's fake, whether you're following the right thing or not.
True. That's absolutely true. And before you used to just have such blind faith in whatever you see on TV. Now we have so much more access to more news, but it's not just coming from like one like outlet and stuff
Word.
like that. So sometimes it could be coming from somebody that's maybe across the street and he's in his room. He's making so sometimes that is harder. But again, I do like the fact that so much more people have access to some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a silver lining. But in this case, what would be your favorite part about that? Is it the fact that you can just get everything like immediately?
Definitely get everything immediately. And then let's say like I can get so much out of it for myself. If I feel like I'm bored, I can go on there. You can get entertainment. You can get news. You can meet people, see different perspectives, find a community. Back to bonds again, like just find people with like-minded ideas, similar interests, things like that. It just brings you all there. You can get multiple things at once, rather than like if you want to go to the news, like watching TV, you're just gonna get news.
Yeah,
you're not really gonna get entertainment like that there. So it's just one of those things where you can get more out of it for your time.
Cool. And I think that's the good thing about social media in some cases. Sometimes it could be used for good, sometimes it can be used for bad. In this case, I think the knowledge is always better.
Yeah.
In some of these cases, but that ends your favorite parts as far as going through them. So now, typically in this part, we go through my favorite part of the week.
All right.
Yesterday I talked about the opening that Angelica had at her outlet. Today I wanted to...
I'm sorry. Go Angelica.
Yeah.
You are lit.
Today I wanted to revisit something that I spoke about a couple weeks ago when I did an episode with my friend Alex. It was about my favorite part of the week that week, and I just wanted to revisit it and just to let everybody know. So I was talking about I don't know if you ended up watching it, X-Men 97.
No. Should I watch it?
You should.
I'm really bad at watching shows.
I finally ended up finishing it this past week, and ladies and gentlemen, it is incredible. So anybody that hasn't watched it, if you're a fan of the old cartoons that played in the 90s, or if you're just a fan of like Marvel or comics or cartoons or anything or animation, feel free to go check that out. It's on Disney Plus. It is incredible. Like I want to talk about it more, but I don't want to spoil anything.
You're real.
It got to the point because me and my brother have a habit now that when I usually cook dinner and stuff in Seattle.
Mm.
So every time I cook dinner, we'll go and we'll watch an episode of something. Lately, we've been doing cooking shows.
Mm-hmm.
And this case, we got done with one of the seasons from a cooking show we were watching, and we wanted to do something different. And so we started doing X-Men, and we were watching like an episode a day. That's
Mm-hmm.
what we'll do. We'll get together so we can spend time together and watch an episode a day, like for dinner, and then we go about and do our own thing.
Yeah.
The season was so good that we sat down, watched a regular episode, and then we gave each other a look, and we're like, and we sat there and just binged the whole thing after that. While and it was the best decision I've made like in weeks.
Yeah.
So if anybody is a fan of any of that stuff, feel free to go check it out. It's great. I'm assuming, I think they've already greenlit a second season for it, so I'm excited for that. But if anybody hasn't seen it, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. It has like the old visuals. It has the old voice cast.
Oh, that's big
yeah.
for me. Like with anime stuff like that, a love of a good voice cast. I'm a dub guy. Like I'm sorry.
Because they were iconic when the show first came out in the '90s. So the fact that they were whatever, I guess say more than 20 years later to be able to bring all of them back,
That's
or at
lit.
least most of them, I'm assuming is pretty wicked. And the story is just as good, and it's good from the beginning all the way to the end. If you've heard advertisements about it, they're not lying. Go check it out and watch it.
Good, because sometimes stories be plummeting. Like they'll start off good, and then just.
Yeah, it's a sweet 9 episodes, I believe. If I'm correct, I think it's 9 or 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It's perfect for its amount, but it does leave you wanting more, which it got to the point where the person in charge of streaming, I guess for Disney Plus, came out and was like, "Hey, you guys got to be patient. Stuff takes time," and because people are clamoring for.
Dang, they brought it to that level where
Yeah.
Disney has to speak
Yeah.
up. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So they're hoping at that they can bring it back to us sooner than in most cases. Versus like waiting 2 years for another season.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can bring it by like next year or something. But we'll see. We'll let them. I don't want them to rush because if it's just as good as this season, it'll be worth the wait. So, but I just wanted to touch base on that and just bring that back up for my favorite part of the week. That it is the proof is in the pudding. Go get you a spoonful of that. But that now takes us to the last couple segments of the podcast. The first one is going to be your senses. So I'm going to ask you a question that has to do with all your senses.
Okay.
And you got to give me a response regarding all 5.
I got you.
So if you, I'm sure you already know by now, I'm going to ask you what's your favorite of each of your 5 senses. So all of them, what's your particular favorite of that part? So do you want me to give you one first, or do you want to nail one right now?
I'll nail one right now, low key.
All right, go.
You give me one first. I change
All right. Give me sound. What's your favorite sound and why?
Sound. Owls.
Owls?
Yeah. Not like if it's like dark, no, because that'll creep me out. And then like seeing them, like, bro, owls are creepy. I'm sorry. Like they be staring at you like, I hate that stuff. But it's like it brings me back to like a time where you're just outside, it's quiet, and then you hear like hoo 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 like all around.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like it's peaceful out. Like I know here like before I had the headphones on, like I could hear owls or just something like hooing. So I like owl sounds.
Okay. Do you hear it often?
Often no, but every time I do hear, I'm like, dang, like this must be like a nice like zen peaceful place. I'm very in touch with like with my peace. Like I want to be in peace. I want to be zen. I want to be chill. I want to be calm all the time.
And that's what the owl noise does for you?
Yeah,
Nice.
I honestly, if you asked me before, if we were at somewhere else, I probably would have been like wind or something like that. But I was hearing them like when we were sitting here like setting up at first, but I was like, dang, like owl sounds are kind of lit. Like I don't know, I don't give them enough credit. They're scary, but I don't give them enough credit.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I haven't thought to check of it, but you never know with all the like noises that you can catch on like the internet or even on like streaming and stuff like that. I wonder if they have that. That'll probably be pretty wicked.
I should check because I know like my parents, they be sleeping with like rain sounds.
Yeah, I'm the same way. So
Really?
I can't hate them. Yep.
Oh, that's nice. I should try that though. Like see if like forest ambience or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that might work for me.
Hey, whatever works for you. That's the thing that I found out about doing this is that a lot of people have different sounds for different reasons, and it does something for them. So
yeah,
if that's what it does for you, then I think that's amazing. So give me another one.
For sound?
No, another
Oh,
sense. Yep.
okay. I forgot the senses for a second. Oops. All right, so let's do
Mm-hmm.
taste.
Taste.
Favorite taste. Favorite taste. I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
but something about the taste of like cherry.
Mm-hmm.
I think because I only think cherry today because I went to the dentist and they were like doing some like numbing thing.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it sucked. It
Yeah.
sucked. Like they have all these tools like in your mouth and stuff like that. You had to keep your mouth open for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying. And then as they got like water in the back of your throat, I'm like choking, like
Mm-hmm.
trying not to like drink or whatever like that. It was a mess, but got out of that. But they use this like cherry numbing thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then that like I don't know why it's so weird. That like medical cherry taste.
Yeah.
I dig it. I don't know.
It's I don't know if it's I know what you're talking about because they've used that at some point with me,
Yeah.
and it kind of has like there's something about like medical flavors
Word.
that be like on point,
Yeah. Oh my. I don't know.
like getting those cough syrups that taste like orange back in the day when you were like younger. Those tasted bomb.
Yeah.
Like as chalky as it was, them Flintstones tablets, they were pretty good.
Did you hear us talking about that in
No.
the living room?
No.
Oh no! I literally like an hour ago, I saw my mom a meme about that. Like someone was saying like, "Oh, these taste so nasty." I was like, I sent it to my family chat. I was like, "We didn't like these because people are saying they're nasty." Like
Mhm.
I used to mess with those. I don't know.
Yeah, I
didn't-
used to pop them like they were Tic Tacs and stuff before,
Dude, I got in trouble once because we had like some Tic Tac gum, not Tic Tac, Flintstone gummies,
but
and I was just eating them like they were
yeah.
like Welch's. Not good, by the way, but but those were good. Like I wasn't complaining. I don't know that little medicine taste. I don't know.
It does something. But what is it about that flavor that does it for you?
Probably because it's so different.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Like, don't get me wrong. Some cherries be like kind of
Mhm.
like, damn, like this is too much. Or I don't want. I don't even want to taste this
Mhm.
no more. But I don't know. I feel like I started thinking about it after I went to the dentist today,
Mhm.
because I didn't eat purposely because I don't want them to be like in my mouth or nothing. Then I got like food and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I'm like, dang, this is the first thing I'm having all day. And then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, every time I have this like taste of cherry, for some reason, I just dig it. Like I don't mind it.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's overpowering though, and I don't like it. It's gotta be a little subtle.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um, strawberry is not strawberry. Like strawberry, like I like that flavoring sometimes with like medical things. My favorite flavor though is gonna be like watermelon all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang, that's
Yeah.
the watermelon kind of sucks sometimes because I feel like watermelon.
it doesn't always taste like watermelon.
No.
You gotta get it where it's good. You gotta get it like on the Dum Dums. You gotta get it on the Jolly
Mm.
Ranchers. Sometimes it's hit or miss with like other things, but that's what does it for me.
Yeah, with watermelon, I had like this pre-workout boost or something like
Mhm.
that. Nasty. I used to take this like medicine through like a plastic syringe as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and that was nasty too. I never liked that. I always tell my mom about it. She's like, "Oh, I don't remember." But that was I don't know. Watermelon's just not me, but
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, it's a lifelong passion.
Yes.
So with that's two down. You got your sound and your taste. So now give me sight.
I just favorite sight. I think people happy.
Mhm.
I know that sounds really corny, but I just like to be in an environment where people are happy.
Mhm.
Like I know with my family, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like I mentioned earlier, like after I started appreciating
Mhm.
family more and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like I love them so much. Like I think I became like the lover of my family beneath my mom, because sometimes
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, y'all just leave me alone. But it got good. Like I want to. I'm a gift giver. I like
Mhm.
to give things to people, make them happy, see them happy.
Mhm.
Like seeing that stuff makes me feel good, and it's like, dang, like I got power. Like
Mhm.
I just made you smile. Like that's
Yeah.
nice. Like I know Soleil, my youngest sister, like she's killing in school right now,
Mhm.
and I'd be thinking like, dang, like I want to give her something, make her feel good. She's killing it.
Mhm.
You know, she had a tough time in middle school because middle school sucks. But
Yeah.
then
I think a lot of people will agree with that.
yeah, and she's doing her own thing.
Mhm.
She's brave. Like she can just do she can do things like theater, not worry about it. She can ace all her classes and still just like chill and sleep all day. I don't know
Mhm.
how she does it, but she's
Mhm.
lit. My sister Naya, like she's awesome too. Like she had a problem with like anxiety for a while,
Mhm.
but she's broken out of that for the most part.
Mhm.
And like we both like share it a little bit sometimes, just cause like how we grew up, kind of like just a little worried of the world when we shouldn't have been, honestly. But she's killing it. Like she can just talk to people. She talks to people better than me sometimes. I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, like you're awesome. Like sometimes I want to do things for her and make her feel good and stuff like that. So I just think like seeing people happy makes me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually less concerned with like myself and
Mm-hmm.
more about other people. That's
Mm-hmm.
always how I've been. Like if you need like vent to me, like I'll talk to you, I'll
Mm-hmm.
help you. But then if it's like me, I'll just be like, I'm chilling. Like I just want to see, make sure you're straight,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that because I feel like I'm the same way. Usually, I worry about like other people versus myself.
Mm.
Usually, I tell people like if you're good, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Like that's how I make sure that I'm good is by making sure the people around me are straight, and so I relate to that.
Mm.
And I don't know, it's weird that I feel like some of the things that I feel like out of all the kids and stuff like nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, like within our, I feel like me and you came out very similar for some reason. I have no idea why.
The
Um,
looks too. I've
yeah.
noticed. Like sometimes I'll look in the mirror. I'm like, dang, like that's Rao,
Mm-hmm.
or dang, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
never saw it like when I was younger like that, but then I started seeing it like older.
Yeah. As we gotten older, but more than me, you look like your grandfather more than
Yeah,
anything.
for
You look
sure.
like him a lot. But
Hmm.
I feel like it's weird that sometimes even without as much interaction, I mean we have good interaction, but not as like
Hmm.
heavy.
Yeah.
So it's weird to see like some of the traits carry on through people and stuff in
Yeah.
that manner. But I 100% agree with that. It's good seeing people like happy,
Hmm.
and I relate to that a lot.
Yeah.
So that leaves us with two more. You got smell.
And taste.
No, we did taste.
Okay, we did.
You got smell
Hearing,
and touch.
touch, touch,
Yep.
touch, touch. Dang. Oh yeah. I knew these ones would be the hard ones. Let's do
That's why you left them for the last.
seriously.
Yeah.
Let's do smell first. Favorite smell? All right. I love. Okay, I grew up in a house where my mom
Mm-hmm.
like is all about cleaning supplies. She loves to clean,
Mm-hmm.
and no, I don't be huffing no chemicals, but
Mm-hmm.
she'll have stuff like Lysol wipes,
Mm-hmm.
like just opening that little like that fresh lemon scent is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll just like when I was younger, I would just wipe
Mm-hmm.
anything down because it would be nice,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, dang, like this smells nice. This is lit. Like I don't know, it's just fresh. It feels clean now.
Mm-hmm.
Before it just got that like dank room smell or something
Yeah.
like that, like the boy room smell, whatever. But the lemon scent I appreciate. Fabuloso is lit. That
Mm-hmm.
lavender, but sometimes I don't mess with lavender like
Mm-hmm.
that. Sometimes it's like overpowering.
Yeah.
But anything just like clean supplies and fresh. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mess with it. It's dope. I feel like it can just change. It just changes the ambience of room, and then you feel like it brings you to that thing of like zen and
Mm-hmm.
peace. Like dang,
Yeah.
like this room is clean. Like I'm good. Like it's a clean room. I don't have to worry about nothing. There's no mess. There's no
Mm-hmm.
dirt. Even if it is messy sometimes, it's just
Yeah.
that smell. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love essential oils and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'll put like lemon scent essential oil,
Mm-hmm.
lavender essential oil, floral, just anything clean I like.
Yeah.
What about you?
No. Well, my smell is a little bit weirder than that, but
Mm.
I like
Dang, there's a
I
weirder
like
one?
the huh.
There's a weirder one?
Yeah. It's definitely weird. But to like piggyback off what you were saying is you mentioned like the lemon scent and stuff.
Mm.
I love the smell of like lemon. Like when my favorite candle from like Bath and Body Works is
Yeah.
like the lemon one. I can't remember what it's called. But it's like it's pure yellow, and then it just smell like radiates like the smell of citrus all over like the
Yeah,
the
their candles
place.
are good.
Yeah. So that smell, like I know why you like it because
Mhm.
it just one it gives you the feeling of like clean a little
Yeah.
bit too and stuff. Given like my history and like working in like housekeeping and stuff, like you could clean something as good as you can, but it doesn't matter until somebody feels like it's clean.
Mm.
So like that's why sometimes like if it looks you're looking for like looks and stuff, you're looking for like feel, even smell. Like sometimes we'll spray stuff even though we've cleaned it because it gives you that sensation of okay, this smells clean. So I think that's
Yeah.
what it does. It just makes you feel like everything's like cleaner, better, and everything.
And
like that.
done.
Yeah.
Kind of like a completion, like
Mhm.
checklist. Like, okay,
Yeah.
this room smells all right, so let's
Awesome.
move to the next one. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that, bro.
Yeah.
I love a checklist. I love a checklist.
I have 100% agree with that. So that leaves us with one last one, and that's going to be touch.
Oh boy. Touch, 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 touch. My favorite. You go first, actually. Can you go first?
Hmm?
I gotta like ponder.
My touch is water.
Why?
I like the feel of it, no matter what. Like whether it's rain, whether it's like a running faucet, whether it's like being in a pool, ocean, or anything.
Mhm.
It has like a calming effect. So
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I
Mm-hmm.
think that helped me think of one. It's not something you really just like touch all the time. You can like feel it for the
Mm-hmm.
most part.
Yeah.
But let's say you ever just been by let's say you just did laundry
Mm-hmm.
and then you just open the dryer.
Yeah.
That like hot like I don't know, it's a weird like sensation, like the hot sensation of like hot air. I like it. If you're by like a campfire, putting your hands out, I
Mm-hmm.
like that. Sometimes I'll walk around my house and I get cold really easily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I just get cold sometimes. So I'll
Yeah.
just put my hand by the candle. I used to dip my fingers in the candle wax when I was
Yeah.
younger and just make like little
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to call them, but like I guess finger covers or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's the same thing what kids do when they put like Elmer's glue on their fingers and then like peel it off.
Yeah,
It's just like a sensation or something.
I never did that though. I feel like that was just so
Really?
messy. Yeah, it's just
Oh
so
man,
messy, man.
I thought it was like a natural thing for like children.
Nah, and then your hands just stink, like smells like milk.
Yeah.
I don't, like,
I
I
didn't
don't,
think about that.
I don't-
At least with
I don't
wax,
like
your
that
hand
stuff.
smells good. But
Exactly, and then another thing I would do with the wax, I would just like wiggle my finger around in it,
mm-hmm.
and then just like pop it off. So it's like I would have like 5 little caps.
Mm-hmm.
Then I just throw it back in the fire.
Yeah.
Like to not make a mess, because
Mhm.
one time I made a mess and I got my ass whooped. But I don't know, just that sensation of something like warm brings you back to that calming thing,
Mhm.
calms you down a little bit. I take hot showers,
Mhm.
all the time.
Mhm.
I read online it's not good for you though.
Yeah.
Like it can make you pass out or something like that. I don't know, but
What,
I've been
a
fine.
hot shower?
Yeah, like I go all the way hot.
It's I've done
Scalding.
that one time where I put it too hot and then like it's kind of the same thing as being in a sauna. If you stay in the sauna too long, your heart rate starts to
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
It does that? It goes faster?
I felt it like because you want your body's overheating, so it has to like
Regulate or whatever.
Yeah.
Science.
yeah. At least that's what I'm assuming. Don't take this
Yeah,
For
we're
work.
not scientists.
yeah, definitely not. But no, I definitely like get that feeling.
Yeah.
Like being what you equate to what that feeling is of like the air from like the dryer
Mm.
is like it's kind of the same thing. Like, have you ever like printed paper and like
And it's warm.
yeah,
You're
it's the best
real.
feeling. Yeah, it's
I
the
love
best
that feeling, bro. Sometimes
So
I'll print out work just for that.
Yeah, so it's that feeling like there's a reason why we gravitate towards something, and I think
Yeah.
that's what you're pulling at. So
Dishwasher too.
right.
Like you get some hot dishes and it's like
Oh yeah, and I love
With-
that feeling.
with
yeah.
that the dishwasher scent. I don't
Mhm.
know, just like supreme.
You shouldn't, but I every time that happens, I go and I grab the plates out and I'm just touching them and like putting them back in its place and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
love that feeling of just pulling that thing open. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you call it, but
That's when I
definitely-
wanted to do dishes.
Yeah, I don't. We have to come up with the term for it. I just don't know what it is.
Word.
Yeah. No, that's very good.
Yeah.
Um,
The sensory of that is awesome.
so that's all your senses. Now you've nailed all 5 of them,
Mm.
and that brings us to the last question. Second to last question of the podcast, and it's gonna be what's something that you're proud of that you've done recently.
I got myself out of a funk for a long time. So I think like the last year I was kind of in a funk as far as like
Mhm.
finding things to make me happy again. Like not that I was very depressed or anything, but I just wasn't as happy. You know, people go through things sometimes. And I feel like at work I found like great friends recently. I've hung out with them. They're nice people. I get like a really good vibe and stuff like that. They're awesome. And then it just feels like natural and
Mhm.
real and comfortable. And it feels like for a little bit I felt like, dang, I'm losing as close of a connection with bonds I used to have.
Mhm.
And that's okay because things happen. And
Yeah.
then you're not always going to be best friends with Lucy or Marianne or Ben forever, you know?
Yeah.
But you meet different people. Like it's like how people say there's other fish in the sea and stuff like that for relationships. I guess there's like other fish in the sea for friends and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Like you'll find other people. You'll find your flock. You'll find who you want to chill with, who you're comfortable with, and stuff like that. So I think that helped pull me out of a funk. And that's like I think that I'm proud of myself for that. Like just getting that done because I know. Like I was saying, like if it was last year and a few months behind that, I would just be stuck. Like I wouldn't be brave enough to do things on my own. Like sometimes, I say this sometimes, like when I'm explaining how my social anxiety used to be. Like if I was in public with my mom and she'd be like, "Can you ask them if they got this?" I'd be like, "No." Can you go with me?
Yeah.
Like at my big age. So just you can just imagine like how how proud I am now to just like talk to people comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
The job definitely helped me a lot because you get some happy customers, some customers, just
Yeah.
like difficult ones. Like I had this lady last week. She was trying to get my attention. Like I get people come have different custom stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's disrespectful anywhere. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So
Snapping at anybody is.
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So she had like dropped something like that
Mm-hmm.
to like hold it or something like that. She wanted to just hold something at the front, and she just went like. And I looked at her. I was like, like you could leave it there. Yeah, because I feel like you just don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where now like I started to defend myself a little bit against people because I used to let people mess with me a lot like growing up and then like just copy off me like I wouldn't care. But then when I got that sense of like, why am I letting people do this? It made me feel more confident to just like stand up for myself, talk to people, be more confident, build like friendships, understand what's like a friendship I want to have for myself as opposed to something that's probably not the best for me in that moment, what's not going to help me elevate. Elevation is super duper important. And I remember my boss told me like, yeah, man, you grow from like the people you meet, who you know, things like that. So I think all that in one is just like within the last year, that's the most I'm proud of myself in. I think I also want to be more family oriented as well. I've gotten better, but I want to be more and more there. I want to be everywhere as far as family. They're gonna see me.
That's that's not a bad thing to aspire to. I mean, especially in our situation, we have like a close family, so it shouldn't be that hard. But just wanting to like get to know like other people, and whether it's your family or not, is I think a good thing.
Yeah.
And like getting yourself out of those comfort zones that you're so like used to is always a good thing. And I applaud you because even now, like at my age, I still struggle with those sometimes, like saying no when I should.
I'm
and
so bad at that.
Yeah, and so it's a lifelong struggle that some of our personalities will always have to deal with. But the fact that you're knowing that some changes need to be made this early is such a positive thing, and I just say hold on to that and just keep it going.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see where I go on and see for myself as far
I
as
am
like,
too because I have no doubt. I think all three of you guys are gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
The first episode I did with my sister, your mom, I told her that she did such a great job with all of you, so I'm not worried about anything. So
yeah, dang, I
and
love her so
I
much.
better not be worried because you're gonna be my business manager at some point. So
Yeah, I know. I got you.
yeah.
But
with
she's awesome though.
with that being said, that takes us to the end of our journey. One last question before you go, and I'll ask it now. I ask it from everybody that does the podcast.
Okay.
So how do you feel after everything that we've done?
Like talked about today?
Yeah. Or just in general. Do you feel better? Do you feel like you got some stuff out? Do you feel like you realized some stuff that you didn't maybe?
Well, I feel like I feel like this was great for us because like you said, like despite us not always talking, we've always been like close and like you text, I respond. I text you, you respond. Things like that. I guess we just didn't have that thing where like, oh, my uncle's gonna be here next week. My uncle's gonna be here like around all the time. We got our own lives, but we're always close and stuff like that. So I think this was good. And then we should do this more often because we have a lot of things in common.
Yeah, we do.
I've always noticed that about us too. Even Noel as well. Like I respect how like intelligent he is when he speaks. I like to think I speak like that too sometimes.
Don't say that. He'll gravitate towards that and he'll never let it go.
Oh, I've probably told him a million times already.
Yeah, he's gonna want to hear this part, but
yeah, no.
But no, I agree. Especially with me being your uncle, I feel like I should be doing stuff like that more often, or we should be doing stuff like that more often.
Yeah, us.
And I think that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, and I think another thing, just like a good reflection of everything. Like, sometimes like my mom's been a great help, and my dad as well. Like, I'll just talk to them about things in my life sometimes, because they've seen me at a point where I just wouldn't talk to nobody. If they wanted to go out, I would be the only one staying home by choice. Like, they wouldn't be like, you stay home though. I would choose to and just miss out on good things. Sometimes I'd miss out and be like, dang, I probably should have gone. Like, just sucked up my ego and just went. But it's good to reflect on these things and just think like, dang, like I've really come far and there's only like more improvement. Like, I'm only 20, not even 21 yet. But I still got a lot to do. So I'm just excited for myself.
You do, and you're at the perfect age to get some of that stuff done, and I'm proud of you. So
thank you.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the end of the podcast. Before we do sign off and go off into the sunset, is there anything that you want to say, promote, highlight, or anything like that? Shout out anybody?
Shout out to you, because you've been killing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you've been no seriously, you've really been killing it, and it like it's good to have like multiple role models in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably just don't think about it as much when you're young. You're just like, oh, I got my mom and dad, but you and Noel are killing it. You're killing it, especially like with the podcast and everything like that. And then this little setup right now will be something so much bigger in the next week, months. Like who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're elevating. I'm just really proud of you.
That's
That's
why
awesome.
you got to get your degree and stop playing.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause I'm gonna need your ass.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But no, I appreciate you saying that, and I appreciate the love. I've gotten a lot of that same sentiment from people. It's just with doing something new, it's just on me to keep trucking and stuff like that. Sometimes the hard part is just starting and keep going at it and stuff. But I'm learning something new every time I do this, and I feel like I'm getting better every time I do this. So hopefully it'll become with what I envision and what hopefully everybody wants out of it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Good job.
But and then again, shout out to you for even stepping up here and stuff.
Woo!
Right. So with that being said, that's our episode of the My Favorite Parts podcast. I'm João. Again, this is my my
Awesome
guest,
nephew, Mekhi
awesome
Johnson.
nephew, Mekhi Johnson. And we'll see you on the next one.
Signing out.
Peace.